Fall is here, folks, and we have got a
And
great
so am
fall
I.
beer. Yes, Bouch is here with me. I am the Mighty Plantain. This is Bouch. We're going to do a quick beer review for you. We've got Harpoon Brewery's Flannel Fridays. This is a great fall beer. Now, I've had it once before. It was at an ESOP conference not too long ago. Harpoon Brewery, for those who don't know, is an ESOP. It is an employee stock ownership program company. So, something nice to think about. Employee owned, etc., etc. It's a
Right.
great option
And
for retirement.
employee owns are actually really good companies to begin with.
Your investment in the company is an investment in the employee's future, and they all know that, which is why they work harder to make the company succeed. I belong to an ESOP company myself.
I used to until they laid me off. So
You're applying to a new one. Hopefully you get in. I've been
Yep.
talking your ass up, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, it's a great company. This is a good beer, and I wanted to get you on board so that I wouldn't be the sole voice of appraisal for this one. We're going to take your stolen Rolling Rock
well,
bottle
turn it
opener.
around so it looks good.
This thing is rough, man. You do some damage with this bad boy. I
You
can feel
could
it.
if you
It's
want.
heavy in the hand.
You
Look
could
at
if you wanted to.
that. That's it's
Got
heavy
some
and solid.
got some heaviness to it.
It's got a lot of heft.
But
Although it doesn't bite as well as I would like it to.
Right.
I'm going to swap it around. Oh! I got that one good. There's a noisy bottle opener too, though.
well, when you use it like that. This looks really pretty good.
It's got a very nice color to it.
Now you said you have tried this before.
I have. So I already know what I think of it. And it's got a nice reddish hue to it. But it's a very golden beer. It's got like a reddish gold. Slightly effervescent.
More copperish, really.
Yeah.
Not real dark, but
No, but it's got a nice color.
you can see through it. I can't read the clock over there, but
It's got a lovely fall color.
but I can actually see the back of the logo of the glass. So
Yeah. It's slightly effervescent, but very clear.
yep, and really, as far as the head goes, and I don't know if it was just because you poured. Well, actually, you got a pretty decent one there.
I got a decent one for once. So.
I mean, for actually a slow, you really don't see a lot of effervescence flowing through.
No, but it's just enough.
Yeah, that cavitation point's not really doing much for this.
It's got a
But that's
lovely
usually,
aroma.
but that's because of the beer.
Does have a lovely aroma.
It does. It has a hoppy aroma.
I'm getting a lot of floral notes.
Yeah. A lot of floral. I'm getting a little bit of the malt background too, but it's not really. But
Nothing's
as far
overpowering.
judging from the color, it's not really going to be a real heavy background, a heavy malt flavor. But you never know until you taste it, which is what we're going to do next.
There you go. So that's a nice complex brew.
Actually, it is. You've got the flavor of the hops. You've got a medium mouthfeel, backbone, malt flavor. Actually, it has some pretty good taste to it. And they're hard to describe, really.
So what I felt is I got a nice fall mix up front with the nice spiciness from the
Right.
fall spices.
Right.
Hint of burning leaves,
Yep.
actually.
Yep. You get that smoky flavor. It's almost like an Oktoberfest style.
That's what I thought it was, and that was how it was described
It's
to me
close
by
to
the
it.
bartender who originally poured it for me. But they don't mention it being an Oktoberfest style anywhere on
Right.
the bottle.
It has that type of flavor.
It's got that character, though.
Yes, it has that character. And it's actually one that I could drink
All fucking
all
night
the time.
long, if you ask me.
all night long, right? I could take a 12-pack of this and really make a good, really have some fun. Put it that way.
Exactly. It's a very well put together beer. For me, it was a nice hoppy bitterness up front that faded to the fall spices.
Yep.
And there's actually a tinge of sweetness in that finish. There's a little hint of sweetness in there that really kind of comes through. But there's also that reminiscence of fall and burning leaves. It's just got a really
right, and that
taste.
they actually say it with this.
Pardon.
The first leaves that start to turn, the first day at the brewery when everyone shows up in flannel, which yep.
And it's got that nice.
But you know something?
Flavor.
I haven't getting back to the flannel. I haven't really worn well, I wear flannel once in a while, but I know I have some flannel line pants, but I wear those. I wear those during the wintertime. They're kind of like long johns, but
anything that keeps the warmth in.
Right, especially with my job, delivering newspaper early morning when it is
You're out in the coldest
when
part
it
of the
is
day.
20 below, especially in Maine, which actually. When was it? I think it was one night this week. They had snow in northern Maine. So,
yep. But this would be a good beer to come home to after that.
Yes, it would be.
I mean, I can see myself drinking a lot of these, and I actually bought a 12-pack without hesitation.
And like I said, it has a Oktoberfest taste and characteristic, but it's not quite Oktoberfest.
No.
Because
it's a great fall beer.
Because as far as Oktoberfest, this has a little more hop flavor than Oktoberfest does.
It's hoppier than I'm used to from an Oktoberfest beer, but everything else about it is in line with an Oktoberfest beer.
Right, and it's really a good seasonal beer. Is that what they actually do? They have it seasonal, or is it?
I think it's only released in the fall. Regardless, it's it's a hoppy, malty, crisp amber ale, and as far as I understand it, it's seasonal for the fall, which is appropriate.
Right?
Appropriate.
Yep. It has that type of characteristic flavor, and it does have the spicy, not spice, but I won't say it's spicy, but it has that fall flavor.
Yeah. There's a nice hoppy bitterness up front.
Yep.
No specific notes coming out from me, maybe a little bit of earthiness.
Yep.
But it fades to that fall spice with a nice medium mouthfeel. And then it comes through with that reminiscence of burning leaves or just piles of wet leaves. That kind of smell in the air that you get from them comes through in the flavor of the beer. And it fades to this odd sweetness that somehow complements everything else in it.
It also has a lighter color than the Oktoberfest style, actually.
And it is a very smooth, light mouthfeel to the beer, too.
Yeah. But it does have that hoppy flavor in the beginning. In the aftertaste, it's more. It tastes more good for early fall when actually the temperatures are around, let's say 60 for the day. It actually had the spices will actually help you deal with that, basically.
Yeah. It's a great drinking beer.
Yeah.
But in terms of the overall experience, what it reminds me of, being a kid and just diving into a pile of wet leaves.
Yeah.
The overall aroma and flavor profile just makes me think of being a little kid diving into a pile of wet leaves, and it's an awesome experience.
And then as you're a teenager, you're raking them up and then burning them in a pile.
I'm not so much fond of that. But for me, overall, this beer comes in at a solid 5 out of 5, just because the overall complexity of the brew, the flavor experience, and the memories that it evokes for me.
Yep. Me too. Actually, I'll give it a 4.5. Actually.
4.5. So not quite as impressive for you, but
No.
still right up there.
Well, I'm putting it in that category of an Oktoberfest, which I actually ascribe a 5 for Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
You're
so
not quite putting it up there on that pedestal.
Not quite yet.
I can respect that because it's a personal taste thing.
That's right. And basically, it wasn't that long ago that we did the Oktoberfest. And this actually could have been a participant in that.
I discovered
even though it wasn't Oktoberfest, but
yeah, no, and it's not labeled as an Oktoberfest brew, but it is very reminiscent of one.
Right.
And I discovered this shortly after we filmed that video. So, ooh, pardon. Maybe whether or not it's labeled as an Oktoberfest, we might pull this in a future Oktoberfest comparison. Or
well, I have noticed there are some other breweries that are doing the Oktoberfest now.
Yep.
They weren't out when I actually picked those up, so we might have another brouhaha coming up
next year. But honestly, this is a great beer, and here's the bottom line for me. On the bottles, you can see love life.
Yep.
Love beer.
Yep.
So, Harpoon gained some points from me for that alone. Above and beyond the fact that this is a 5 out of 5 beer for me.
No, it's love. Yeah, 4.5. But love life with beer.
I can get behind that 100%.
That's what I say.
So, either way, a great beer that you should check out yourself. Hit us up down in the comments and the email link down below. I'll also post a quick little user poll here. You can rate the beer yourself, 1 through 5. We can't do the half ratings, unfortunately, with YouTube. It only gives me 5 options, so I got to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to hit us up down below with a like and a share. And if you click that little subscribe button down there in the corner, you'll get a notification every time a new beer review is posted.
And not only check out this video, check out some of the old ones too.
Oh, there's already been a couple of links posted there.
Oh, yes.
When you mentioned the Oktoberfest comparison, that one popped up.
All right.
Make sure you click on that. That's actually a pretty decent video.
And not just that. I mean, some of the other ones too, like.
You know what? Just run through the whole
Allen's Coffee Brandy. That's a good one.
Playlist. You could skip over the Allen's Coffee Brandy incident. That was
actually, it's a half-hour friggin' video, but it's funny. And that's the only thing. That's really. If you actually watch that, you'll be hooked on them all.
He thinks it's funny.
I think it's funny.
Lots of people think it's funny.
Right.
I think it sucks.
That's because he looks like a jackass, but I think he looks like a jackass pretty much any time, but that's just me. And I get to see him all the time, so.
There you go.
But we went to school together, so it don't matter. It don't matter.
And at any rate, folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers. Until next time.
Keep drinking.
A little while back, we did a bit of a comparison with the Not Your Father's Hard Root Beer review.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for the beer, man. So, highly recommended by you. The Extreme Beer Fest this weekend. We'll be able to get a hold of, I believe it's the American